There are some songs that just seem to be everywhere. 10,000 Reasons is definitely one of them. It's become this global anthem of faith sung in, well, countless languages. But have you ever stopped to think why? What is it about this particular song that hits home for so many people? Well, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to break it down, look at its anatomy, and figure out what makes it tick. Okay, let's start with just a number 10,000. What does that bring to mind for you? I mean, it could be anything, right? The price of a used car, the number of steps you're supposed to get in a day. It's one of those numbers that immediately makes you lean in and ask, 10,000 what exactly? Well, that number is the heart of the song we're talking about, and these are its very first words. And 10,000 Reasons has really become so much more than just a popular song. For millions of people all over the world, it's basically a modern hymn. I mean, its reach is it's staggering. You'll hear it sung by thousands of people in these huge congregations, but you'll also hear it whispered at a hospital bedside if they're for memorial services. And that right there is what's so fascinating to me. How can one song fit so perfectly in moments of huge public celebration and intensely private struggle? That's what we're going to dig into. So, where does a song with this kind of universal appeal come from? I can tell you it doesn't just happen by accident. To really get to the bottom of its power, we've got to start with the person behind the music, the songwriter. All right, so the primary songwriter is Matt Redman. If you follow modern worship music, you definitely know his name. He's a huge figure. But, and this is really important, he didn't write it alone. It was a team effort co-written with Jonas Myron. And wow, together they really did create something special. Now, to really get Matt Redman's music, you have to understand his whole philosophy. He has always been about substance over style, sincerity over performance. For him, the whole point of worship isn't to put on a slick, polished show for an audience. Nope. It's about a real, authentic, from the heart response to God. And that philosophy, it is perfectly baked into the song's inspiration, which comes directly from the Bible, from Psalm 103. What's so cool about that psalm is that the writer is literally talking to himself. He's telling his own soul to bless the Lord. It's this internal command, this personal pep talk. And that conversation, that's the absolute backbone of 10,000 Reasons. Okay, so now that we've got that foundation, let's really get into the nuts and bolts. We're going to take a journey through the song, deconstructing the lyrics verse by verse, because this is where the genius of it really shines through. So we start right where the psalmist starts, with this powerful command. Bless the Lord, O my soul. If the line we've all heard, maybe sung 100 times, but what does it actually mean? Okay, and this is the absolute key to the whole song. This is not about some kind of emotional hype. It's not about waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration to strike. No, the song presents praise as a decision. It's an intentional discipline, something you choose to do. It's this radical idea that sometimes you have to decide to praise before you actually feel like praising. Then the first verse kicks in. And I want you to notice how incredibly simple and ordinary the imagery is. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's not some huge dramatic event, it's just the start of another day. And that is exactly the point. The song doesn't tie our gratitude to some spectacular miracle or a lottery win. It grounds it in the quiet, consistent, everyday grace of another sunrise. Just waking up, that simple act is presented as reason number one to sing. The verse keeps building on this idea, and then it makes this really powerful commitment. It looks ahead to the rest of the day, all the uncertainty, the good stuff, the bad stuff, whatever may happen, whatever may pass, and whatever lies before me. You see how that one line just transforms everything? It shifts worship from being just a reaction to good things into a steadfast posture for all things. It's basically a prayer for faithfulness. It's saying, I want to still be singing when the evening comes, no matter what this day throws at me. It's about endurance, not just a momentary feeling of excitement. All right, so after the song establishes this commitment to praise no matter what, it makes a really important shift. The focus moves. In the second verse, it's no longer about our situation, it's about God's character. And this is such a vital pivot. It anchors our praise not in the roller coaster of our daily lives, the ups and the downs, but in something that doesn't change, the nature of God. So when everything else feels shaky and unstable, this becomes the solid ground we can stand on. His character is the constant. And now we come to the verse that I think for a lot of people gives the song its incredible emotional weight. It goes to the one place we all have to face mortality. It looks straight at the end of life when our strength is gone. There is absolutely no hiding from it here. But right after painting that picture of finality, it immediately gives us the response. In the face of that ultimate weakness, that final moment, the song makes this almost defiant declaration of unending praise. So the song completely reframes the idea of death. It's not presented as the end of the song, it's not silence, it's just a transition into the eternal version of the song. The worship doesn't stop, but actually transcends life itself. So when you put all of these pieces together, you start to see it, right? Why have this song endured? Why does it connect so deeply with so many different people from so many different walks of life? Well, I think it really boils down to three core things. First, it's just brutally honest that life is hard sometimes. Second, it's incredibly empowering because it frames praise as a choice you get to make, not just an emotion that happens to you. And finally, it gives us this really profound and hopeful way to look at our single biggest fear, the end of our lives. And that really brings us to the final question the song leaves us with. It's a challenge, really. It pushes back against a passive view of faith and invites us to consider a much more active one. So, what if praise isn't some feeling that we just have to sit around and wait for? What if it's a decision they make, day by day, moment by moment, right up to the very end, and then forevermore?